Oh, sorry about that. Whenever I get a phone call or text message or anything or email, the camera shuts off. So, anyways, here's another episode. So, as I was saying, now they got the whiteboard the way I want it to be. Of course, you know I got this for free. I got a lot of it, so this is for my wife. I'm gonna put this aside, and then this is where I get to use my miter saw. Yay! So I'm gonna go ahead and put this down. Well, actually, no, I still have to use this thing. I still have to. Okay, sorry about that. Apparently, whenever I get messages telling me that I have voicemail, it also pauses or stops. Anyways, there you go. So I've taken the cover off because I need to change out my blade. As you see here, it just comes off. Put it back on. There you go. Just there's a little hole here. Okay, voila. So there's my cutoff wheel. Basically 10-inch 5/8 arbor. And then let's see here. Of course, you need the wrenches that came with this particular table saw. It does help. Helps greatly to have this. And then we'll come over here and just put it in here. What I do to get leverage is I'll put this onto the table and then put this in here, and I'll just simply just pull, and I'll just use this as a leverage to get it going. I just need to loosen it. There you go. That's all you need. Of course, I'd recommend you unplug this, which but let's just do this. I can't be an idiot all the time, right? So basically, this is what I use. It's a metal cutoff, 10-inch, and it works. It grinds a little bit too if you use the sides, but since I don't have a cutoff wheel or a chop saw, a metal chop saw, I have to be a little creative. So this is one thing I can use here. It does kind of wiggle a little bit. It kind of gets scary, but after a while you get used to it. That's why I put a face shield on, because you get the metal. Remember, it rotates this way. So what happens is all the debris starts shooting in your face, and so that's why I wear a face shield. And I'm also a very handsome man, and I like to stay that way. So let's go change out the saw, just to give you an idea of comparison. There it is. So yeah, still about 10 inches. So that stays on pretty good. So here I got the blade here. Excuse me. I'm just trying to get my viewing space here. This is my blade that I got here. That came with it. Just a 32 teeth, but you know, hey, I'm not gonna complain. I'm not gonna complain. It came with it. If I have to buy another one, I will. But right now, that's what came with it, and that's that. So I'm trying to get the arbor plate in there. Of course, there it goes. It has to go in a certain way. There it is. Get the nut back in. There we go. All right. Okay. So there's that. And again, I put that over there. You kind of use it as a leverage, and then I'll just there we go. There we go. That way I can just kind of perhaps use one hand. There we go. Make sure I want this on tight. Okay, there we go. Very good. Voila, I got my blade back on. Okay. Excellent. The blade is back on, so I'm ready to rock and roll again. That right there for now. I'm feeling I might have to change it. Alright, so I'm going to do some ripping now. And what I'm going to be ripping for is I'm going to be ripping let's see here. I'm going to be ripping to make the cutout or the kerf to, let's see here, if y'all can see this. Yeah, you guys can see this. So I'm going to be ripping like a little slit right here and here. Let's see if I can make a marking with the ink. My little marker here. So I'm just going to be basically ripping from here, just a little sliver, like that. And that's going to be basically where the frame. This is the frame. This part's going to be where the whiteboard sits in there. And then when I finish that, I'll put a little plywood in the back. Voila, I got a nice little frame. So I gotta see what I wanna, how much of it I wanna. I'm not sure what I want to do. So let me see if I can find my square anywhere. Okay, here's my square with measurements. All right, well let's rip, shall we? Let me see. What am I going to use? I'll just use this setup here. It's not a big deal. I'll use a setup that came with the board. I use my sled, but it's kind of like a pain in the butt right now to get all that. So I'm just going to use what I have here, which you all have as well. You know, nothing too serious about it. Let me see here. Okay. If you're wondering what I'm doing, I like this has a 30 seconds measurement on it, and I like that to be down so I can do this. So excuse me if you can't quite see anything. Y'all just have to trust me that I'm taking some measurements here. So what I want to do is measure out how far I gotta go in, or how much I would like to go in. And right now it's kind of set at 2 inches about. And so have it go 1/2 inch. Want it to go 1/2 inch or 3/4? Or half of this, 1 inch. Let's do 3/4. So have it set at 3/4 coming in. So as I measure this, I want to measure from the inside. Let me see, how am I going to measure? Outside to inside. So outside the blade, inside to this rip fence. That's what I'm going to measure for now. And I want it to be 3/4. Same thing over here on this side. 3/4. Let's see here. So remember, inside the rip fence to outside the blade is what I want, is what I'm looking for, 3/4. Okay, perfect. Alright. So that's a cut right there. So what I'm trying to do is and it's always good to have a nice handy dandy flashlight here to illuminate things. But basically what I'm doing here is I'm measuring inside the fence to outside the blade. From the outside to inside fence, it's 3/4. As I push it in, it's going to give me that little notch. So hopefully that made sense for everyone. I hope it did. Anyways, so excellent. I got all that. Oh, just forgot what side I want. This side looks interesting. Let me see the other side. The other side looks pretty interesting. So I guess it doesn't matter. I'll pick the flattest side here. Okay, I'll pick this side. So I'm just gonna go ahead and just put it in, shove it through. Okay. So now I gotta determine how high I want it. So obviously I don't want it that high. Now this thing only, it's not very thick. Nope. It's not very thick. At most it's a quarter inch. I don't have any caliper, so just have to take a best guess at it. Well, it's not even a quarter, it's like an eighth. A little bit of an eighth. So I'm going to have to, and I apologize if you can't see this, but I'm going to measure, I'm just measuring this to see an eighth to the highest point. There you go. So it's not a lot. It's very little, actually. So that's that. And what I'm going to do is I'm just going to do a test on it. I'm going to do a test at this top here. Just kind of just put it in, run it through, and see how it comes out. So cover your ears, everyone. I got my goggles, face shield going. There you go. That's the little groove here. Then I'm going to cut it this way, of course. But I need to make that little groove, and I just want to see how. Yeah, it's an eighth. Okay, it's an eighth. So I'm going to stay with this. And oh yeah, let's see. Make sure it cuts the right where I want it to. 1 3/4. 3/4. It's a little bit more than 3/4, but that's all right. We'll just have to play with it. A little bit more room doesn't hurt because it's all going to be adjusted anyway. So let's continue. I'm just going to shove it over here. Of course, you know what would help is if you have enough room to push it through. So I gotta move this whole thing back. Oh boy. Alright. Let's see if that helps. It might. Another thing that might help is have your push stick ready. I like using this versus the one that I got with it. Just a preference. Alright, so I got my cut right here. Do the same for the other one. Might as well do that while you're at it. So let's have a look here. I'm gonna figure out what side I want, and this side's ugly. All right, let's do this side. That's pretty good. So now that I've done that, everyone, let's see here. Okay, so now that I've done that, I'm going to go ahead and cut it vertically this way. So I'm going to cut the notch out like up here. So it requires a really tight cut for that. So this is only 1/8 of an inch here. So I have to get my rip fence really close to this to the blade. That's going to be fun. So let's do that here. So let's see, it has to go up 3/4. So now I have to change the height to 3/4. And that's kind of what the table saw is really good for. Okay. Let's see the highest point. I'm trying to find the highest point here. Okay, let's just do that. I could always play around with it a little bit. Make adjustments as I do my test cut. And man, 3/4, 1/8 of an inch is not much. It's probably gonna really be the blade is, I think, 1/8 of an inch. So I'd be scraping along the blade for the most part. Yeah, for the most part, I'm going to be scraping right along the blade. So I'm going to just put up against the blade just to make it parallel, and then just barely just give it a little nudge on both sides. I should probably just tap it. Just to make sure it has some slight room on it. It may even end up scratching the dang thing. But let's because of the vibration on it. Yeah. Yeah, I could hear it scratch. There we go. Okay. So let's see if it scratches. I want to make sure it doesn't scratch onto it here. Okay, very good. Let's do a test cut on it. Let's see how it goes. So, all right. It's going to be a very slim cut here. So, all right. I'm going to use this to keep it in place and hold it down like that. Okay. All right, you ready? Here we go. So here's our cut, and that's what comes out from it. Not much left. It's really thin. But that may be too much actually, because that piece is not very thick at all. But let's see what happens here. I guess it can work. So everybody can see that. It is a little too big, but you know what? I think it's going to work. It does fill that space, and no, that's fine. That's going to work good. That should be enough. So that's fine. I like it. So remember to always do a little test cut to see how it does, and if it works out good, let's do it. Okay, that's fine. It is a little too big, but that little too big is to prevent from scratching up my fence board. So, yeah, I'm all right with it. So let's continue. take you out. Let's kind of show you what it looks like. So there you go. There's that cutout for my frame. As you can tell, the saw is not, it's only 36 tooth, so you can see the little cuts here as it kind of wiggled around on the table. But you know, this is fine. It's kind of gives it a rustic look to it. You'll see. But it works, you know. I mean, it's a frame. It's a picture frame for my dry erase board. I mean, it's, remember, this is all reclaimed wood, so I'm not complaining. So that's kind of the concept here. So this is just a regular table saw, a cheapie. You guys can probably do the same. It's not precision, but you know what? Watch me make this frame, and then you'll see how easy it is. All right. So this is one piece. I'm not even using my sled on this because I just kind of want to get this done here. If I use my sled, it actually could be a little bit more precise, but that's all right. And I don't know if you saw some debris fly out of there, but I had my face shield on, and let me tell you, that would have hit my cheek, and that would have been kind of irritating. So if you have a face shield, wear it. If you don't, go get one. It does help, and plus all the dust doesn't go into your face, so you don't have to be coughing sawdust. So anyways, here we go. Having this helps a lot. It gives you a lot of that leverage to hold it down as the board goes out, because you notice that this is only about what, 24 inches. So, and you got like 6 foot of it sticking out. It's going to tend to rise up on you like this. But I probably won't. Well, hopefully I might use the edge here, but anyways, it even got me a little sliver of this, which is when I see this, it's kind of cool. Get you a little sliver of this. If you do it right, I mean, look at that. Of course, doesn't mean that you're a pro or anything. It just means it cuts you a little sliver. That's all. So that's kind of what I got right here. I use this as in my barbecue pit to start the fires. They kind of burn real quick. Good shavings for fire starting. Anyway, so let's take a look at the results here. So, okay. So here you go. There it is. about the size that I want, you know, and works out. So that works fine. There's a little slit here, but again, this doesn't have to be precision. It works. Now I got 2 frames here that I can fit into there, and that's it. I think I'm done with the table saw. From this point on, I'll be using the miter saw. So let's put this stuff away. And you know, just you got scrap pieces of wood laying around. This tremendously helps. You know, you can make this once you get a table saw or miter saw or whatever. Just gives you a little bit more leverage in how you handle the wood pieces versus something like, you know, like this. This is like not much helpful. It is if you don't have anything, but I think these 2 things here help a lot. And basically what this is the same thing as picture frame. This if I made a deeper cut in here. And I said, hey, you know, I could kind of use this to hold things down this way, as well as hold it down this way. I could even use it to push things up against it. So it has a lot of practical uses, and of course this helps too. You can get far distance, and what I like is I can just push it down and then keep it going through both hands, very sturdy. Anyway, this is stuff you can make. You don't have to buy this. Just get your scrap pieces of wood and make it. Highly recommend. Wow, a lot of sawdust. A lot of sawdust. Now, if you look at the sawdust, you notice that I noticed they're really like shavings more than dust. And if you get, you know, a 40 tooth on a 10 inch or 60 tooth, I don't know if you have, you can get an 80 tooth. Yeah, I think so. 80 tooth saw. You'll notice that the wood is dust. 36, you get more like curly shavings. See what I'm saying? Anyways, look at this. Start this off now. Try to keep your workspace clean as much as possible. Sucker's heavy, which is good, I guess. Okay. So I guess if you want, you can measure, but there's nothing like just taking the actual piece. This is small enough where you can take the actual piece and just figure out where you want to put it. So looks like the way I have it, it's pretty nice. I just have to figure out, you know, where do I, well, I just want to use the whole thing to cover all four sides, so that's why I only made two pieces. So I guess I'll start at the edge. So what I'll do is I'll do a 45 here, and I'll just cut here 45, and this will be here, and then from there I'll just mark the spot where I need the other 45. And so what's nice is you could probably take two of these, stack them up, and then you could do kill two birds with one stone, because you got the top and the bottom. I hope, if that makes sense. So both should be 24. You can give yourself a little bit of room, you know. So let's give that a shot. So I'll just start off on one edge. We'll take it from there. So just go ahead and put you back in the holster. Okay. All right, so maybe I'll start on this edge because I got more room here. I need to make a table stand. Really, I do. I need to make some sawhorses. That's my next project. Well, here's my miter saw. I'll put a link up there if you haven't seen my video on it and how to set this up. This is the 12-inch. I used to have a 10-inch. I also put a link up on that as well if you're interested in a smaller version of this. I upgraded to the 12 because man, it just has so much more features, and out of the box it just seemed like it was just set up a little bit better and machined a little bit better than the 10-inch. So put a link on that for you up here. But yeah, I want to make sawhorses. I got this garage. Eventually I want to I'm gonna put my table here. Eventually you'll see what I'm talking about. I'll put a link up there if you're interested in seeing it. Eventually I'll get to there. I think I'll do some today, but I gotta finish this for my wife because I got all these tools, you know. She's probably wondering what the hell I'm doing. So I guess, you know, if you think about it, getting into your garage, and if you have a car, or you do woodworking, you do metal work, whatever you do in your garage, isn't that much better than, you know, well, I guess it depends who you talk to, but isn't that much better than, you know, having an affair, or getting yourself a girlfriend, and just getting in all sorts of trouble and mess? That's what I think anyway, but who cares about what I think? So this should keep you busy, right? I hope. So I'm just trying to get to my clamps here so the pieces don't move on me. There we go. That's one. And another one. Okay. That's all I need is one, really. Alright. So let's see. Let's 45 it this way. This is probably where the clamp comes in real handy. I don't usually put it on because, as you can tell, if I forget and I need a bevel, I'm going to hit right into it. But in this particular case, the clamp is going to come in real handy. So, put the clamp on. Yeah, there we go. There we go. So let's turn you over. So we clamped you down, keep you where I want you to be kept. The only thing I gotta make sure is that it not going to interfere with whatever I'm planning to do here. Okay, I don't think it's going to. Okay, good. It's not going to interfere. So I just want to make sure on that. I'll just clamp it right down. There it goes. Okay, very good. Let's tighten that right here. This is kind of where I want it to be anyway. It's not that deep. 45. There's a laser on this, but I guess it doesn't matter. I always like go here and know exactly where I'm cutting if I need to know. But this is going to be my starting point, so it doesn't really matter. I really should have made the clamp right here because it kind of almost moved on me a little bit, but it doesn't matter. Alright, so I got nice 245s here, and now I can see where I can now mark where I want it to go. So the next one would be next cut would be for this 45. There we go. This actually might get in my way, so I might have to clamp it down on this side. Maybe not. Who knows? Anyways, I just need something to put here. This, I should clamp this over here. Sorry, I want to see that. Anyways, there we go. I'm sure I don't want it to be that small, but I'm just trying to put it someplace where I can. Let me see. Okay, I'm going to go ahead and move this over here. I'll probably work with it more like over here. There we go. Alright. move it around a little bit. Okay. Anyways, I should keep it in place where I need to for now. There we go. Alright. I'll just keep going until the batteries run out. So now I take the physical piece. I'll give myself a little room here. Show you. And then I'll make my mark. Mark where I want it to cut. Right about here. Give myself a little room. There we go. Give yourself a little wiggle room. I mean, if it's slightly bigger, it'll still work. But if it's slightly smaller, you're screwed. So, there we go. So I got my two sides here. And I'm ready to go. Okay, so I got my mark here. I can release this, slide it through where I need it to be slid through. There we go. And then I'm gonna make sure that where I put the clamp down, it's not going to get in my way. So looks like the clamp is going to get in my way on this one here. Maybe I do have to go put it back here after all. Let's see here. Yeah, it's going to get in my way here. Huh. Oh well. Anyways, let's see. Let's see where I want it. So okay, good. That's probably where I want it to cut. Right here is perfect. I'll just use the clamp on this side. I should really use it on that side, but that's alright. It's here. I'll use it. The supports on this do help. They are slightly lower than the table, but considering I got the long piece here just to put it on, that should be fine. And then just want to make sure one more time if you see that. Okay. So I'm pretty happy with it. I'm going to go ahead and do the cut. That's alright, there we go. I'll keep that clamped together for now. So I'm going to be using that part as well. Now I got the top and bottoms. Voila, 2 parts. I hope it worked. Anyways, top and bottom. So let's go check it out. Now my calculations are right, which I hope they are. Excellent. Turns out a little bit tight on this side. No, it turned out pretty good. Turned out really good. Yeah, it turned out really good. Okay, excellent. So voila, I got my picture frame. All right, excellent. Let's work on the other side now. Now this one, I guess I could measure. I don't have one of those things where they join at the corner. So, but I found out you don't really. It's not exact, but you can still do it without it. Let's see here. It's just a simple picture frame. I mean, we're not building the Mona Lisa or Michelangelo or whatever. Measuring tape. There it is. Let's go ahead and measure out what we need. I guess we could do 17. We can do straight 17 on that. Okay. Straight 17. So I already got one side already cut here, but I needed to cut the other way because this way is not going to work. Just ain't going to work that way. So I need to cut this way to make it work, to have them fit. So let's see here. How can we do this? Make sure that they're even here. It's going to be important. And then I guess I can move this around a little bit. Now I'm going to measure 17 here. And if it's a little bit bigger, that's alright, because remember I got 3/4 of an inch to play around in there. So 17 is right there. So I'm not a woodworker by profession, but you know what? If I can do this, you can do this too. If I can make it, sometimes you just have to make it look good. Doesn't have to, be good in quality. Just looks good. My wife is Japanese, by the way, if you all were wondering. And she tells me in Japan, it's not really how the food tastes, it's how the food looks. Now, if you ask me, I would so much prefer how the food tastes. But after eating what my wife cooks, I could concur that it's really, well, not even the way it looks. She's not very good at all. So, but I've been to Japan and been to the restaurant, and yeah, sometimes it really is about the way it looks versus the way it actually tastes. Alrighty, let's put this up together now. Now the way I like to do it is just, I like to take the blade, and I'm actually, that blade is about 1/8 of an inch thick, so what I want to do is I want to make sure that I get one side of the blade over the other side, because if I use, for example, if I measure from this side, I'll be short, because I'll be like this. I'll be like, okay, that's where I need to cut, but nope, you're going to be short 1/8 of an inch. I've done that many times, and hopefully I just saved you a lot of headaches. Of course, you guys already know that, but anybody out there who's watching to kind of learn what's going on here, something to watch out for. So okay, so now, alright, so I got that. So the laser stuff is kind of cool, but if you can adjust it to one side of the blade or the other to where it cuts, or I guess that works. You just have to measure a certain different way of doing it, but that down. Make sure it's straight up against the that fence over there. All right. Double check where I have placed my. Okay, that's perfect. I don't know if you're able to see that, but that's kind of where that should be good enough. So if I do a little bit more, that's fine, because I remember I got 3/8, 3/4 inch of play that covers the whiteboard on the edge. You'll see what I'm talking about. Alright, I'm ready to go. Let's do this. I'm sorry, before I almost screwed up. I need to cut this the other way, so forgive me. I almost screwed up here. After I said it, I totally forgot about it. So what I really need is to do this, or I'll just keep using this same edge here. I'll just use my hand. Sorry everyone, I almost screwed everybody up. So if I'm kind of getting confused on this, most likely other people have gotten confused on it as well. So I cut that because I need it to be angled this way, and you'll see why, and then my other cut's going to be the other way. So I almost screwed up on my own video series here. It's kind of embarrassing, but this is live, unedited. That's how it works. Okay, so now I got to measure this crap again. So, anyways. Okay. So I got to remark it. Shall we? Shall we remark it? Why not? Sorry if you're not seeing this, but I'm just doing my best to keep you guys in the loop here as far as viewing space. So let's start all over again, shall we? Now this time I want to use this side of the blade again to cut here. Just a little bit more. Just a little bit more. So I could be slightly more, but I can't be slightly short. There we go. That's fine. Let's make sure it's pushed up against the fence here where I want it. Let's clamp this side down here. I'm trying to kill two birds with one stone. That's why they're stacked. It'll help a lot. Or you can, you know, I guess if you want to, you can do one by one. So here we go. Okay, excellent. And hopefully I did that right. I hope I did, because I may have enough pieces to do, maybe, I'm not sure, because I gotta cut this away again, cut that. I might have enough pieces to make a fix on it, enough length on that. So let's go test this baby out, shall we? And so the reason I had to cut it again, because they go the other way. See? See, they go the other way. And my battery's cutting short here. But let me see if I can show you what I'm talking about. Let's see here if I could squeeze that under. There we go. Will you look at that? So that's my dry fit, and there we go. Here's my dry fit. Just kind of dry fitting it, just one side, and so there you go. That's kind of what it looks like so far. It's the same exact size, I hope, on the other side. So I just got to put that in, and voila. So just in time, because the battery's about to die out here, and so this is the other side. It's going to be flipped, but you see this is the groove here. I got 3/4 of an inch to play with, so it's going to be a little space, wiggle room here to move around in, and then that'll be covered, and so it'll look really clean. Voila, there you go. You know, so that's kind of what this will look like on this side, and hopefully that helped you all. I will continue this episode series, so if I don't get interrupted. But my wife should be really happy. There's more things here that has to be done, and Of course, I will video and document all that. So until next time, tune in. Really appreciate it. Thanks. Bye.